By the end of this video, you're gonna learn my exact strategy I use to gain around 300 subscribers per day and 30,000 views per day. And this is not your standard YouTube guru advice where you're just told generic information. This is my exact strategy step by step, so that way you can copy it and apply it to your own channel. Now I've broken down this strategy into the acronym FAST, and let's start with F, which is find research proven topic ideas. And the key there is proven topic ideas. I only make a video if there is demand for it. What a lot of new creators do is they just come up with different ideas and then they just make them without first looking into, is there actually demand for this topic? Has someone else made this video on YouTube and how well did it do? There's no real research or strategy behind the videos they make, and therefore their videos don't get views. Now the way this whole demand thing makes sense to me is I picture different streams and rivers flowing, and those are views on YouTube. They are constant, they are going towards certain topics. If you want to get those views in that water, you can't just go and dig a hole somewhere and hope the water is going to end up there. No, you have to make a channel off of that river to where you want that water to go, those views to go. So you have to first find the demand. You have to find the stream of views and all the interest around those topics, and then you can dig your channel over to your channel and the views will flow to it. Hopefully I did that analogy correctly. So here's my criteria to determine if an idea has demand. Number one, the video gets more views than the channel has subscribers. This is a clear indicator that the video has grown beyond the current audience of that channel and is being shown to more people. The reason for that is there's demand around that topic. Number two, the video outperforms a channel's regular viewership. Even if a channel has 1 million subscribers, but they only consistently get 5,000 views, if one of those videos gets 50 or 100,000 views during that period of time, that was a top performer out of their regular content. So that's also a sign that there is demand for that topic. And number three, which is also important, is it has a more recent upload date. If you find something that performed really well from 5 years ago or 7 years ago, there's no way to really determine if it still will unless there's someone else who's posted content more recently. So you do kind of want to stay within the last 2 years is usually where I look. If it was posted within the last 2 years and it did really well, it's a really good sign that I could probably make a video on that topic. And let me actually share my screen and show you my process of how I do this. Now, obviously you have to start from somewhere, and chances are if you do know your audience a bit, you probably know some of the frequently asked questions they might be searching or different topics they might be searching. Since I'm in like a video editing niche oftentimes, or at least I was only in the video editing niche, I could look up different video editors and see if there's demand and if I should make a tutorial on it. One of those is Magisto video editor. And as I start typing this, you'll start to see auto fill out here. This is a good sign. Like it's going to pop up usually sometimes the most searched results as you type it out or the most relevant. So I can see tutorial, review, video editor and maker, different things like that. So pay attention to those as you start to type out those topics. You might actually be able to find additional topics, but with this one, there's not a lot. So let's just click on this video editor tutorial. And what I also have on the side here, I have both TubeBuddy and vidIQ. For TubeBuddy, I do recommend getting both of these tools downloaded. The links for that will be down below in the description because it can be useful figuring out these things. Now with TubeBuddy, I really don't care for their little meters here of search volume and competition. The only thing I really look for is sometimes TubeBuddy will actually show me how many searches per month something has after I type it in. Now, sometimes it can't grab that data. This time it couldn't, but for some of those ones it can. And if I can see, hey, there's 50,000 people searching this every single month, I can tell there's at least that much demand for that topic, and that can be really useful. Or it might tell me there's only 500 searches per month, and if that's the case, then there really isn't a lot of demand there. So that's where I like to use TubeBuddy. It didn't show it this time, but yeah. All right, and now we're gonna look at some of these top videos that came up and kind of figure out if there is actually demand here. So first video we have from Magisto, Smart Video Editor and Maker. It's 30 seconds and it has 3.7 million views in 5 years. Channel only has 20,000 subscribers. Now initially, you know, that's one of my criteria. Ding, ding, ding. More views than the channel has subscribers. However, I'm most certain that this is just an ad. If you look, it's exactly 30 seconds. There's nothing being shown here other than the ad itself. So chances are they uploaded this video, ran it as an ad. Not a good sign that like this is good. We need to go to a different video. If you scroll down, Magisto tutorial, 6,000 views of a channel of 16 subscribers. I mean, hey, that's technically good, but in 3 years, he could only get 6,000 views. Probably not a lot of demand there. Let's go down a little bit more. How to use Magisto from 7 years ago, and it only got 128 8,000 views. Again, that's not a lot of views in 7 years of that being uploaded. Is that really worth your time? I mean, I guess some people looked it up. Here's another one, Magisto video tutorial, 158 subs, got 15K views in 3 years. Again, 15K in 3 years, that's 5,000 every year. That's not a lot of traffic. So looking at this, there's clearly not enough demand here where I would actually go out of my way and make a video on this software. I might have been tempted to, because if you actually go into the App Store, this is one of the featured apps, like a must-have video editing apps that you should have on your phone. But then again, if it is one of those apps, according to like Apple, then why is there no demand for it on YouTube? Why is no one caring to click on it? Chances are it's just like a paid ad or something where, you know, Apple's promoting them on their App Store. And I wouldn't have known that. I would have just thought, well, Apple's promoting it. It must mean a ton of people are using it. If I wouldn't have done the research on that idea, I could have just wasted hours of time making a video that no one cared about. Now let's take a look at another topic. Now I know for content creators, a lot of them like to shoot B-roll, whether it is for their products they're reviewing, or maybe they just want to shoot different types of B-roll or cinematic content. So maybe I could do how to film B-roll, and I can see what comes up. iPhone, B-roll of yourself, with phone, a lot of phone, without gimbal, for documentary, for travel videos, food, another by yourself. So let's just do how to film B-roll on iPhone and take a look at this. And we can look at the TubeBuddy keyword score here. They say it's excellent. Again, they didn't show us that search, how many searches per month. I know it doesn't seem like they do, but they do it enough to where when that data is shown, it is something useful to go off. It's free. You can literally install TubeBuddy for free, so you might as well have it. But let's take a look at some of these. So we got 44K views in 8 months from Bennett Grazer. He has 294K subscribers. Not as many views as the channel has subs, but we could take a look at that a bit further. Let's see what else we've got. Here he is again, 78K views in 5 months. Here we have someone, 178K views. He only has 13 subscribers. Cinematic B-roll ideas for epic iPhone videos. That looks really promising. Getting 178K views in 2 years, was that? It's like something a little over 80,000 views a year. That's pretty good. How I film smooth cinematic car B-roll for Instagram Reels. 282K views, 291K subscribers. Here's a 1 million viewed video in 9 months from the same guy, Bennett Grazer, 294K subscribers. So there's definitely a few videos on this topic where the video has more views than the channel has subscribers. But what we can also check, because Bennett keeps coming up, we could actually click over to his channel and go to his videos and just see what he standardly gets on some of these videos. So we see 5, 8, 4, 4, 4, 10, 5. So that seems pretty standard for him. Like that's probably like an average performing video. And as you can see, there are outliers here, and they're all these cinematic video, the B-roll type videos. Because look, he's getting 4,000 views, 18,000 views, 40K is pretty good, 5, 10. But when he did this one, he got 370K views in 3 months. That outgrew his current viewer base. Another sign that this is a good topic. And then this one obviously did insanely well. Boring versus creative B-roll videos. Almost 1 million views in 5 months. That's way outgrown his channel. As you can see, like he's only getting a couple 5,000 views on these. But when he does a video on B-roll or cinematic video on a phone, he's getting hundreds of thousands of views, close to 1 million views on some of these videos. And sure, when you compare the video to how many subscribers he has, it may seem that, oh, some of these videos, you know, just stayed within his subscribers. But you got to keep in mind, just because someone subscribes doesn't mean they're actively watching the channel. His active audience, a normal regular day, seems to be around 5,000 views. So when we see these outliers, there's the ding, ding, ding in our head that this is probably a good topic to cover or do something with. And now I can actually take this idea of smartphone B-roll or cinematic smartphone B-roll and add it to my idea list. And what I like to do is put just a green check mark by it, just so I know I have researched this idea and I know that this is a performing topic. It's not just me splurging, writing out tons of ideas and I don't know if they're good. This is a researched idea, it can perform, and I can do that for all the different ideas I come up with. So still do brainstorming sessions and think of all the things viewers would like, but then take the time to research them, make sure there's demand. If there is, check mark. If not, put an X by it, remove it from your list of ideas or something like that, because if there's no demand, we're not going to make it. And kind of going along the lines of that same point, if you do know competitors in your niche that are making content, look at their most popular videos and then also look at their most recent and look for those outliers. Look for those topic ideas that have performed really well. Because if they're in your niche and those topics are performing well, your audience is there. And you can bring that audience to your channel and then they can find the rest of your content as well. And then take the time to write down all those high performing ideas. And one last note before we move to the next step is also think about content that you've already uploaded that has performed well. And I know as a small creator, if you're not getting a lot of views, even if you get 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 views on a video, sure, that's not a lot, but there obviously was some kind of interest there. Figure out why, and also potentially make a follow-up video. If there was demand and it has performed better than, if your videos only get like 50, 100 views, but you got a video that got 1,000, 2,000 views, there might have been something there, and it might be a sign to make follow-up content because there is obviously some kind of demand there. Moving on with our FAST acronym, let's move to the letter A, which is advantage. How do I compete? Once you have that idea that is in demand, now we have to figure out a way of how do we stand out, how are we going to compete, and how do we convince viewers to click on our video over the competition? And notice what I said there. How do I convince viewers to click on the video? When optimizing our videos, it doesn't matter about robots, it doesn't matter about keywords, it doesn't matter about hacking the algorithm. What really matters is how do I persuade viewers to click? And then eventually, what we're going to get into is how do I keep viewers watching my video? Because that is what's going to send signals to YouTube that this is a good video. It interests this viewer who's interested in all these topics. So let's share this video out to other people who are interested in this topic. That's the signs YouTube's looking for, is satisfaction with a person who's interested in a topic, and then they can expand it and share it to more people who are interested in that topic. If those first few viewers don't like it, then usually YouTube is going to think it's a bad video and they're going to recommend a better video that satisfies the viewer more. All right, so let's get into ways we can compete. Now, if you want to make the exact same video idea, and this can be often in tutorial content or how-to content, like someone shows how to add music, you may want to do that exact same video potentially, or, they cover the how to film cinematic B-roll, and I want to make my own version of that. There are ways I can compete without just being the exact same thing over and over in the search results. So if it's the same idea, the video can be more in depth. With the B-roll example, those videos were 10, 15 minutes long. Maybe I make a 30 to 50 minute video going in depth on cinematic B-roll, covering everything. It's a complete guide. So filming it, color grading it, adding the music and sound effects, all of that into this masterclass of a video. That's going to allow me to stand out above his, because someone might be like, I'll click on this. I might not get all the information I want, and then I got to hop around YouTube. If I just click on this guy's complete guide, I'm going to learn absolutely everything. I'm going to go from beginner to pro in 50 minutes or 30 minutes. That has appeal to a lot of people. Or maybe they're watching it on their TV and they don't want to click on a 10-minute video. They'd rather click on a 30-minute video that can just play a bit longer and they can get everything. Another way to compete is being more to the point. So he has the 10 to 15-minute video. Maybe mine is 5 to 7 minutes where I quickly show how to get cinematic B-roll. So instead of wasting time having to sit and watch a 10 to 15-minute video, here are 3 things you can do right now to get cinematic B-roll that I can watch real quick, learn, and start applying right away. So there's appeal there, especially in how-to content and education. If I can learn the exact same thing in 5 minutes instead of 10, I'm gonna click on the 5-minute video. This is also true of shorts. Shorts are actually popping up in search. I've seen people where they'll skip the long-form videos that are 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes long, and they'll choose the 60-second short that's gonna show them how to do it because they're gonna get the information faster. Even in that case, there is appeal for content being fast to the point and just solving the problem someone has. Or even if you're not in the education space and you are in the entertainment space, sometimes people can't sit and watch a 20-minute video that's funny or enjoyable. Maybe they're just they're on a 15-minute break at work. And so they're just looking for a 5-minute video that they can click on and it's entertaining and they can watch. They can still enjoy their break and be able to do other things. The next way to compete is updated content, especially in the education space. Like if someone does how to edit in iMovie in 2023, and I go make how to edit in iMovie in 2024, someone's going to click on my video over theirs because it's more recent information. It is more up to date. That's why you'll see a lot of people use the updated in the title or 2024 most recent, because it communicates that this information is accurate. This is what you need. And especially in some things, like some things update over time. So old information might not be applicable anymore, whereas the new video will have the most recent information. So that's another way you can compete. The next way to compete is that your content looks more valuable because of the packaging. And by that, I mean your thumbnail and your title. If someone's thumbnail is really poor looking and the title is really long and keyword stuffed and looks like it's a crummy video, versus someone who spends a lot of time making that thumbnail and making sure that it's clear and simple to understand and that it does look professional and that the title is also simple and easy to understand and communicates the value that'll be in the video, someone might click on that video over the other one just because they feel like it's going to be more professional and they're going to actually get the right information. Or that the video isn't just going to be like poorly done, that there'll actually be entertainment value in it, or whatever that person's after. If it is more put together, it does have more appeal in that sense. Now, I actually did this exact same strategy back in like April or May of 2020 when I was starting to take YouTube seriously. I followed these exact steps, and in 1 week, keep in mind, my channel was pretty dead. I had like a couple thousand subscribers, but I hadn't posted in 9 months, and I just started up April of 2020. So I was still brand new. A lot of my subscribers weren't even there anymore. But in 1 week, I was able to rank second in the top search results for how to edit an InShot. And then in 2 weeks, I was at the top of the search results, being a video with over 100,000 views. And all I did was I made my video with the more recent up-to-date information. I made my video shorter. I made my thumbnail more clickable than his. I made a more persuasive title. I did all those different things and also made it look more professional. And I got to the point a whole lot quicker. As a result of that, my video ranked super fast, and that led to hundreds and thousands of views. And that was just in a matter of weeks. This isn't months. This is in a matter of weeks. So I know from firsthand experience that this does actually work. Now, maybe you don't want to make their exact video idea, but what you can also do is if there is demand for that topic idea, you can still make something around that topic that could come up in suggested next to those videos. So maybe someone shows you the basics of filming cinematic smartphone B-roll. Maybe I can go and make advanced cinematic B-roll on iPhone, or 7 advanced tips for cinematic B-roll on iPhone. You know, something like that. They can click on his video and watch it, but then mine makes sense to watch next if they really want to get into advanced things you can do with B-roll to make it look even better. I'm still on that same topic idea, but I'm finding different ways and different takes to where I am different from everyone else completely. And there's also appeal to that because it's something else they can watch on that topic and consume. And doing this has really helped my channel grow because I do cover like basic video editing tutorials, but then I'll go into advanced editing tips, you know, mastery of different softwares. So even if my competitors are making beginner tutorials for my editing software and their video is outperforming mine, I can still have my content suggested next to theirs because I have both content on the basic and the advanced and other little specific areas around that topic to where the viewers still get to my channel, even if there is more fierce competition, and they'll still end up subscribing and being a part of my community. So don't think your video has to be the best of the best and has to knock out all the competition and it's this constant battle. You could also just stand out in your own way, but you know there's demand in that area. You're not just making a video. You know the demand. You know that around this topic, for example, smartphone B-roll, I know there's demand around that topic. So I can try a few different ideas around that topic, do a few different takes, and I can still appeal to that river of views. Now, before we get to the last 2 steps in this strategy, if you are finding value in this video, you may want to consider joining our membership, as I host private live streams with the members once a month where I can help you more specifically. I also just opened one-on-one consultation calls if you really want more personalized advice for your YouTube channel. Links to those will be in the description. Going to the next letter in our acronym for FAST is the letter S, which is script. Write a hook and keep content to the point. Now, I know a lot of people don't like the idea of having to script out their videos, but if there's one thing you can script out, let it be your intro and your hook to your video. It's usually within those first 30 seconds you see the most dramatic drop in your audience retention with people leaving the video. So if you can really hook viewers into your content, show them, hey, this is why you should stay around. This is also why podcasts that are like an hour, 2 hours long, where there's not a lot of editing, they'll do a really big hook in that first 30 seconds to a minute to show you, hey, there's all this value coming up. You don't want to click off this video because you're going to learn all this cool stuff from whoever's being interviewed, and then you'll sit and you'll watch. So even if you can just do that, make a really good hook, script that out word for word, and really think about, what can I say in this opening lines that's going to keep viewers watching, even if there isn't a ton of editing. That is super important to keeping viewers watching, keeping your audience retention up, your average view duration, which is ultimately going to help your video perform well. But if you can pre-plan out your entire video, this is going to allow you to avoid rambling, going off on points, because it's a lot more scripted out. Or even, like for me, I just have my points written out that I want to cover on each of these acronyms. And so it keeps me on track. I can say a few things, something on this point, and then I can go to the next point, and that keeps me on track to where I won't end up in my editor and be like, man, I ranted on that for 5 minutes. I didn't really need to talk that long. I've got everything I need to cover. As long as I've covered it, I can move on to the next one. And you don't really have to get fancy with this. You can literally just open notes, title of your video, and then script, and just kind of write out your points. And then I do word for word for my intros and hooks. The intro and hook to this video was word for word what I wrote out. So I know exactly what I'm going to say. And I can also start to think about how it's going to be edited as well. This is actually edited by an editor, not me. But even still, when I am editing my own videos, I do think about, okay, what can I show on screen? Am I going to show B-roll? I'm going to show different clips. How am I making this hook going to actually draw people in and keep them watching? And finally, the last letter in our acronym FAST is the letter T, which is tune and optimize. Package your video better than your competitors and continue session time. Now, as it relates to thumbnails and titles, I would literally take a screenshot of the top search results for wherever your topic is, throw it into Canva or Photoshop, and then wherever your design thumbnail is, after you exported it, add it to that project and put it over the top of one of those thumbnails and compare your thumbnail to the competition. And then you have to ask yourself, is my thumbnail actually more clickable than these top videos? If it's not, you got to go back. You have to redesign it. And I know for some of you, it's like, I just want to design a thumbnail real quick. I spend hours a day making a thumbnail. I'll spend 4 to 8 hours in one day just designing a thumbnail because the click is that important. And also the title is that important too, because if no one clicks on your video, no one sees the hours you've put into creating this video and scripting it out and editing it and all that, and the research effort too. No one's going to see that. You need to make sure your thumbnail is really clickable, your title's clickable, and it doesn't come down to fancy graphics. What it really comes down is my thumbnail simple, easy to understand? That's usually what's going to make something more clickable than someone else's. Like for example, if you search best video editing apps for iPhone, I compared my video to the competitors out there and tried to make a comparable thumbnail that would be more clickable. And some of those are really fancy. And guess what? There are people who have better thumbnail skills out there than me. I'm sure it's the same in your niche as well, because we're all learning thumbnail design, but I can still compare mine and try to make it the best thumbnail possible. Depending on your skill set, you could always opt to go simpler if people are doing something super fancy, because sometimes simplicity will beat out the complex Photoshop thumbnail designers out there. So try to make that better thumbnail, and then also try to make your title more persuasive to the viewers. Again, we don't care about robots. We don't care about optimizing keywords. What we do care about is making our video more clickable to viewers. So if there is a way where you can adjust that title, maybe throw it into ChatGPT and say, give me some variations, simplify this title, or something to that effect, like you could do that and try to make a better title or a more persuasive title or interesting title or dramatic title that people want to click on over theirs. Now, we also want to optimize is how they finish the video. So at the end of the video, oftentimes creators are like, and that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, blah, blah, blah. And I do catch myself doing that from time to time. But the much better strategy to do is to point the viewer to a different video. And what I like to do is verbal call to action. I'll literally be like, let's just say it's my basic CapCut tutorial. At the end of that basic CapCut tutorial, I'll say, now that you know the basics, you'll definitely want to check out the more advanced editing tutorial that I have right here. Be sure to click on this and go over to that so that way you can master this this software. And boom, the video's over. That's how I end it. So it's literally like, you're not actually at the end of the video. Here's another video you need to watch if you want to be advanced. And each video is pushing person to another one of my videos, or it's pushing them into a playlist of videos that they can consume. So that way they are stuck binge watching my content. I never can let them leave the channel. They are stuck here watching content. There's always more to watch. And that is going to send signals to YouTube that, hey, when this viewer clicks on one of Colin's videos, they actually end up watching 3, and they start this binge watching session of his content. And that sends signals to YouTube that the viewer is very satisfied with his channel, and then they'll recommend that video to people with similar interests. So make sure that you're not just allowing viewers to go and choose another video that they want to watch. You tell them what to watch. And if you're serious about growing on YouTube, you'll definitely want to check out my entire paid YouTube course that I made for free on YouTube. That's right. This was a paid course. I turned it free, uploaded it entirely to YouTube. You can click on this and get all of my YouTube secrets, all my YouTube knowledge. So click right here, and I'll see you guys over there. I will.